Welcome back to the Science Pulse. Tonight, we set out on a journey designed not to demand anything of you, but to soothe you, to hold your mind lightly as you rest. This is a space where curiosity meets comfort, where the wonder of the universe becomes a lullaby for your thoughts. Perhaps you are lying in bed, the light dimmed, the weight of the day beginning to slip away. Perhaps the world around you is still busy, but here, within this quiet moment, you are invited to drift into stillness. Tonight, we will explore mysteries that stretch from the smallest flicker of thought within your brain to the grandest arcs of galaxies across the night sky. We will move slowly, gently, letting each idea wash over you without pressure to grasp or retain. Think of it as listening to the rhythm of the tide, waves of knowledge rising and falling, carrying you toward a restful shore. As we begin, imagine yourself stepping into a wide open meadow at dusk. The air is cool, the horizon painted in soft shades of violet and gold. Above you, the first stars are beginning to appear, tiny sparks pricking the veil of twilight. Each one is a reminder that the universe is awake even as you prepare for rest. They shimmer quietly, patiently, as if waiting for you to join them in the stillness of the night. You may wonder about those stars, about what fires them, what stories they hold. We will wander into those mysteries soon. For now, let them be gentle lanterns, guiding you into calm. Each point of light has traveled for unimaginable spans of time, crossing the dark to reach your eyes in this very moment. Their patience is a gift. Their glow is a reminder that even in darkness, there is beauty, and even in stillness, there is movement. So let's set out together. Not rushing, not straining, but drifting, like a leaf on a slow-moving stream. The universe is wide and ancient, and tonight, it is here to cradle you, to whisper its secrets softly enough that you can dream to the sound of them. Settle in, breathe deeply, and let the quiet unfold. Our journey begins now. Have you ever wondered how the stars were born? Those tiny specks of light scattered across the sky, each one a glowing ember in the vast darkness, each one older and larger than we can truly comprehend. They seem eternal, as if they have always been there, pinned to the night like jewels. But stars are not timeless. They, like us, have beginnings. They emerge quietly, almost shyly, from the deep fabric of the cosmos. And their birth is slower than anything we are used to on Earth, slower than rivers carving valleys, slower even than mountains rising. Their creation is measured not in years or centuries, but in millions of years. Picture yourself now in the midst of a cosmic nursery. Around you drifts a cloud so vast it stretches across light years, a mist of gas and dust scattered by ancient stars that lived and died long before ours. To the human eye, it might appear as a dark patch of sky, but within it lies the material for new suns. Hydrogen, the simplest element, floats here in endless abundance. Helium mingles with it. Dust grains spin lightly, and gravity begins its patient work. At first, nothing seems to happen. For thousands of years, the cloud merely drifts, stirred occasionally by the faint ripple of a passing star or the faint pressure of distant starlight. But gravity never lets go. It pulls each particle ever so gently toward its neighbors, and as they come closer, the cloud begins to clump. The clumps pull in more and more, becoming denser, heavier. Slowly, the cloud breaks apart into knots of matter, each destined to become a star. These knots are called protostars, and they shine not with fusion yet, but with the heat of their own collapse, like a child warming its hands before the fire it is trying to build. Imagine standing within such a nursery, though no human could. The scale is unimaginable. The light filtered into soft reds and blues by the glowing gas, the silence vast and absolute. Here, stars are being born in slow motion, flickering into life over epochs. Some will ignite fully, burning bright and hot, their light flooding across galaxies. Others will never gather enough mass, fizzling instead into faint brown dwarfs, failed stars that glow only dimly. What sparks the true birth of a star is a kind of cosmic threshold. As the protostar grows heavier and more compact, its core grows hotter. Temperatures climb to millions of degrees, and at last, hydrogen atoms begin to fuse into helium. In that instant, light bursts forth, and the star becomes real. The outward pressure of fusion balances the inward pull of gravity, and the newborn settles into a long, stable life. What was once a dark cloud has become a shining beacon. The sun that warms your skin each morning began this way, about 4.6 billion years ago, in a nursery that no longer exists. It was born alongside thousands of siblings, most of which have long since drifted apart, scattered across the spiral arms of the Milky Way. Some of those siblings may still burn, others may have already died, exploding into brilliant supernovae that seeded the galaxy with heavy elements, the very elements that make up your bones, your blood, your breath. In this sense, you are not only connected to the stars, you are their continuation. The calcium in your teeth, the iron in your blood, the oxygen you inhale. All of it was forged in stellar hearts and released in stellar deaths. You are stardust, awake and aware, remembering your origins. It is easy to think of stars as distant, but they are more intimate than we imagine. When you look up at night, you are looking into the past, receiving light that has traveled for hundreds or thousands of years. The photons touching your eyes may have begun their journey before the first books were written, before the first cities were built, before your name or your story existed, and yet they arrive patiently to paint the darkness with tiny, steady flames. There is comfort in this patience. Stars do not rush. They do not worry. They burn steadily, quietly, for billions of years. They remind us that life does not need to be hurried, that meaning can be found in endurance, in the quiet persistence of shining. And so, as you imagine yourself drifting through the cradle of the cosmos, among clouds of glowing gas and whispering dust, let your own breath find that same rhythm. Inhale gently, as if drawing in the quiet light of a distant sun. Exhale softly, as if releasing that light back into the dark. The stars are born in silence, and in silence, they remind us of our place in the unfolding universe. Drift now with that thought. Picture yourself floating deeper into the nursery, where stars are sparking into being all around. Some flare blue and hot, fierce and brief. Others glow red and steady, slow burning and patient. The diversity of stars mirrors the diversity of lives. Some brief and brilliant, others long and quiet, but all part of the same cosmic fabric, all part of the same great unfolding. And as you rest here in this imagination, know that you too are part of this birth. Your thoughts, your breath, your body all carry the signature of stars long gone. Their memory lives in you. Their fire burns within you. You are not separate from this story. You are its continuation. So let the image soften. Let the nursery fade into quiet. Ahead, the universe holds more mysteries. each one waiting to cradle you further into rest. As the stars are born, so too is your night unfolding, slowly, gently, without hurry. Have you ever wondered why, when you close your eyes, the mind begins to weave stories of its own? Stories that rise without your command, unfolding in strange yet familiar ways. Dreams are the quiet theater of the brain, where logic softens and imagination takes the stage. They are part science, part poetry, part mystery, as if your mind, even in rest, cannot resist telling you tales. Picture yourself now lying on a shoreline, the tide whispering against the sand. The waves arrive, recede, return, each one like a breath. This rhythm is not unlike sleep itself. As you drift deeper, the body falls into cycles, each one carrying you further from waking and closer to dreaming. At first, the descent is gentle, like sinking through warm water. Muscles loosen, thoughts scatter, awareness begins to fade. Then, the brain enters its secret phases, drifting through stages of light sleep, deep sleep, and finally, the curious state we call REM. It is in REM, rapid eye movement sleep, that the theater comes alive. The brain lights up with activity, almost as vivid as when you are awake. Memories shuffle, images flicker, emotions rise and fall. In this quiet darkness, the brain does something extraordinary. It plays. It takes fragments of your day, threads of memory, even deep echoes of long-forgotten experiences, and it stitches them into dreamscapes. Here, you may find yourself walking across a city you've never visited, speaking to voices that are both strange and familiar, or flying across landscapes that dissolve as quickly as they appear. Why do we dream? Scientists have long asked this question, and while answers remain elusive, each theory brings its own comfort. Some believe dreams are the brain's rehearsal, a way of solving problems or practicing survival in a safe space. Others see them as emotional housekeeping, a nightly cleansing where feelings are sorted, softened, and filed away. Some suggest they are the echoes of creativity itself, the mind's refusal to ever stop imagining. Whatever the reason, dreams are reminders that within each of us lies a storyteller that never sleeps. Imagine neurons firing like constellations, each spark a star lighting up the darkness of your inner sky. One neuron recalls the scent of childhood summers. Another recalls a face you passed on the street. Another hums with the sound of music half remembered. Together, they weave a fabric so intricate you could wander through it for hours. The landscapes may shift, the logic may blur, but the experience is always yours, as personal as a fingerprint. There is something deeply comforting in this, that even as the world grows quiet, your mind keeps creating. It whispers stories to itself, as if to remind you that you are alive, that you are still connected to memory and possibility. Even nightmares, unsettling as they can be, often carry meaning, a reflection of worries or fears the mind is trying to understand. And when you wake, even if the dream slips away like mist at sunrise, it has done its work. It is softened, reorganized, healed. So as you lie here now, perhaps with your eyes beginning to grow heavy, let yourself imagine your brain preparing its nightly stories. Imagine each breath carrying you deeper into that theater. You don't need to choose the script. You don't need to direct the stage. You only need to let go, and the hidden language of dreams will come to meet you. There is poetry in knowing that every person across the world, in every place and every culture, shares this nightly journey. The details differ. One may dream of mountains, another of oceans, another of people long gone. But the act itself is universal. To dream is to be human, to carry within you an inner cosmos that is as rich and mysterious as the one above your head. And so, as you listen now, let the thought of dreams soothe you. They are your mind's way of singing to itself, of weaving together past and present into soft tapestries. If you are still awake, rest in the comfort of knowing that your dreams are waiting, ready to welcome you whenever you drift across that threshold. If you are already half asleep, perhaps they have already begun, gentle and strange, wrapping you in their quiet embrace. The hidden language of dreams reminds us that we are storytellers by nature, that our imaginations flow even when we are silent. It reminds us that rest is not an emptiness, but a creation, a quiet building of meaning in the dark. Tonight, as the words continue to drift around you, let yourself lean into that mystery. Dreams will find you, as they always do. Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the frozen shells of distant worlds? Out there, far beyond the warmth of the sun, orbiting in the cold dark of the outer planets, there are moons that glitter with ice. At first glance, they seem silent and dead, white and barren, nothing but frozen spheres drifting endlessly. But deep within, beneath miles of ice, something extraordinary waits. Entire oceans, hidden seas that have never seen the light of day, stretch wide and deep. In the silence of these buried waters, life itself may be waiting. Imagine standing on the surface of Europa, one of Jupiter's moons. The ground beneath you is dazzling, a plain of cracked ice reflecting the pale glow of distant sunlight. Fissures and ridges run across the surface, like the veins of some enormous frozen creature. The air is thin, the silence complete. Only Jupiter looming in the sky above, immense and striped, casting its light over this alien world. At first, it seems lifeless, but listen closely, and you might sense the groaning of ice sheets shifting, the faint rumble of tides hidden far below. Beneath Europa's crust, scientists believe, lies an ocean larger than all of Earth's oceans combined. Heated not by sunlight, but by the tug and pull of Jupiter's gravity, the water remains liquid, trapped under miles of ice. Imagine that, an entire ocean, sealed away for billions of years, never touched by surface storms, never seen by human eyes. In the dark, where sunlight cannot reach, warmth and chemistry may combine to create the conditions for life. Tiny organisms could drift there, or vast alien ecologies might flourish in complete darkness, living off heat and minerals rather than light. And Europa is not alone. Enceladus, a small moon of Saturn, also hides an ocean beneath its bright, icy shell. We know this because great plumes of water vapor spray into space from cracks at its south pole, like geysers bursting through a frozen crust. Those plumes contain organic molecules, the building blocks of life. To watch them rise into the blackness is to glimpse the breath of a world that may carry secrets deeper than any ocean on Earth. There is something soothing about these hidden seas. On our planet, the ocean is vast and eternal, its tides rhythmic and calming. On these frozen moons, the oceans are hidden but just as vast, whispering quietly beneath their shells. They remind us that even in the coldest, darkest places, warmth and possibility exist. Life does not always need sunlight. Sometimes it only needs water, warmth, and time. Picture yourself now descending through that ice, sinking gently, layer by layer. The blue light fades, the walls glitter faintly, and then, suddenly, You emerge into a vast black sea. The water stretches beyond sight, quiet, endless. You float there, weightless, surrounded by silence, a silence so complete it feels like peace. Perhaps strange creatures drift past, luminous forms that glow softly, like lanterns in the dark. Perhaps the water is empty, waiting patiently for life to come. Either way, the stillness is comforting, like being held in the deepest cradle of the cosmos. The thought of hidden oceans carries a message that what we see on the surface is never the whole story, that beneath stillness and coldness, there may be warmth and movement, that beneath what seems barren, there may be life. In this way, these icy moons mirror us. Beneath our still exteriors, beneath the quiet we show the world, there are inner oceans, flowing with thoughts, emotions, and dreams. Hidden depths that shape us, even if no one else can see them. As you rest here, drifting in this imagination, let that idea soothe you. You are like those moons, carrying hidden seas, carrying life and warmth within. Even in silence, there is depth. Even in stillness, there is motion. The cosmos, in its infinite patience, has shown us this truth again and again. So let the image of Europa's ocean fade into darkness. Let Enceladus's geysers fall silent. Ahead, more wonders wait. We leave the frozen moons behind, carrying their lesson with us, that even beneath ice, oceans dream, and as you breathe, slowly, softly, you carry your own hidden depths into the next quiet chapter of the night. Have you ever felt the way time stretches and bends, depending on how you experience it? A single moment of joy may vanish in a heartbeat, while a minute of waiting can feel like an hour. To us, time seems like a steady ticking clock, a metronome that never changes its rhythm. Yet in the fabric of the universe, time is not rigid. It flows like a river, winding and curving, faster in some places, slower in others. And just as a river shapes the land, time shapes every life, every star, every story. Imagine yourself now standing at the edge of that river. Its current is invisible, but you can feel it carrying you gently and endlessly forward. You do not need to swim, for you are already moving. Every breath, every heartbeat is a ripple in its flow. You may glance backward to see memories on its banks, and forward to imagine futures, but the river itself carries you always in one direction, toward tomorrow. Albert Einstein taught us that this river is not the same for everyone. Time can stretch or shrink depending on speed and gravity. If you were to drift near a black hole, where gravity is unimaginably strong, you would find that time slows for you compared to those far away. Minutes might pass for you, while centuries pass elsewhere. To think of this is to realize that time is not fixed, but elastic, woven into space itself, like threads in a vast tapestry. And yet, though these truths are strange and cosmic, they touch us in ways that feel deeply human. Time slows when we are still, when we sink into silence. It speeds when our minds are restless, racing through tasks and worries. Just as light bends when it passes through glass, so our perception of time bends with our state of being. Perhaps this is why moments of peace feel eternal, and why moments of anxiety feel endless. Picture yourself now, walking through a meadow as the sun sets. The air is still, the horizon glowing faintly, and for a moment, time seems to hesitate. The world is unhurried, the shadows stretching long, the silence deepening. In that pause, you sense what it means to rest within time, not chasing it, not fearing it, but simply drifting with it. Like a leaf on the surface of the cosmic river, you are carried gently, without effort. The universe itself is patient with time. Stars live for billions of years, galaxies evolve slowly, and even the expansion of the cosmos is a rhythm too vast for us to grasp. Compared to this, our lives are brief flickers, but brevity does not mean insignificance. Just as a single spark can light a fire, a single human life carries weight and beauty within the endless flow. The river of time does not rush. It allows each of us our moment to shine, and then carries us onward. And so, as you breathe now, let yourself feel time not as a pressure, but as a rhythm. Each inhale is a step forward, each exhale a release. There is no need to hurry. There's no need to hold on. The river carries you whether you try or not. All you need to do is rest within its flow. Perhaps tonight, as sleep begins to gather around you, you can think of time not as a ticking clock, but as a soft current, holding you, guiding you gently into dreams. The worries of the day belong to the past bank, already behind you. Tomorrow belongs to the far bank, waiting patiently ahead. But here, in this moment, in this stretch of river, there is only now. And now is enough. So let yourself drift. Let the current hold you. Time flows, always, but for tonight, it flows softly, gently, like a lullaby written in the fabric of the cosmos. And as you surrender to it, you may find that rest comes as easily as water flowing downstream. Have you ever paused in a forest and felt as though it was speaking to you? Not in words, not in sounds you could easily translate, but in the way the leaves tremble in the wind, the way the air shifts with every breath of the trees. A forest has its own language, ancient and subtle, spoken in silence and rooted in time deeper than human memory. Imagine now that you are walking through such a forest. The air is cool, filled with the fragrance of pine and earth. Shafts of golden light filter down between tall trunks, dust motes drifting lazily in their beams. Each step falls softly on a bed of leaves and moss, and as you move further in, the world beyond fades away. Here, time slows. Here, every tree seems to stand watch, guardians of a secret older than civilization itself. Beneath the ground, hidden from sight, an invisible network spreads in every direction. Thin threads of fungi, delicate as gossamer, weave connections between the roots of trees. Through this network, signals pass, warnings, nourishment, whispers of life. A tree struck by insects can send a message to its neighbors, who respond by strengthening their defenses. A mother tree, old and vast, can share resources with saplings shaded beneath its canopy, feeding them in their fragile youth. In this way, the forest is not a collection of individuals, but a single living community, bound by threads too small to see, but powerful enough to hold an entire ecosystem together. This hidden web is sometimes called the Wood Wide Web, a phrase that captures its quiet wonder. It tells us that communication is not limited to voices or gestures. It can happen in silence, in chemicals carried through roots, in messages whispered through fungi. The forest listens. The forest responds. And though it doesn't rush, though its pace is slower than ours, it is never still. As you walk deeper, you might notice the way the light changes. Leaves overhead sway gently, scattering sunlight into shifting patterns on the ground. The sound of wind through branches is soft, like breath moving through lungs. In every detail, the forest mirrors life itself, inhaling carbon, exhaling oxygen, the very air you breathe now passing through the quiet labor of countless leaves. Each breath you take is a gift from this hidden conversation, from these ancient beings rooted in patience. And there is comfort in this, to know that you are never separate from the forest, even when you are far away. The air in your lungs, the strength in your body, all are tied to the green life that covers the earth. The trees hold us, just as the stars hold us, in ways we may not always notice. Their whispers are not meant to be loud. They are meant to be steady, like a lullaby hummed in the background of time. Pause here in your imagination. Place a hand against the bark of an old tree. Feel its rough surface, the way it rises and falls like the lines of an ancient map. Beneath that bark, water flows upward, drawn from the soil, feeding every leaf high above. Beneath the soil, messages flow outward, carried across the fungal threads, reaching other trees, other lives. You are touching not just a trunk, but a participant in an endless exchange, a network that has stood for centuries. As you breathe in, imagine drawing the forest's calm into yourself. As you exhale, imagine offering your own quiet back to it. The exchange is gentle, effortless, just as it has always been. And in that exchange lies a lesson. That connection does not require noise. That community can exist in silence, that even in stillness, life moves. When you leave this forest, whether in memory or in dream, you carry its whisper with you, a reminder that you are never truly alone, that beneath the surface of life runs a network of bonds, unseen but unbroken. Like the trees, you are part of something larger, part of a living fabric that holds you even when you forget it is there. So let the forest fade now into darkness. Let the whisper soften into quiet. Ahead lies the wider cosmos, vast and silent, waiting to hold you as gently as the trees have done. Drift onward, carried by their breath, into the next calm wonder of the night. Have you ever gazed into the night sky and wondered how it all fits together? The stars appear scattered, random points on a velvet backdrop. But if you could step back far enough, if your eyes could stretch across billions of light years, you would see that the universe is not scattered at all. It has a structure, vast and delicate, like threads woven through an infinite tapestry. Astronomers call it the cosmic web, an invisible skeleton of the universe, upon which galaxies are strung like dewdrops on a spider's silk. Imagine now that you are drifting far beyond the Milky Way, past clusters of galaxies, past the swirling arms of distant spirals. The further you go, the more the grand design begins to reveal itself. Galaxies gather not randomly, but along filaments, vast rivers of matter stretching across the cosmos. Between these filaments lie enormous voids, darker than anything you can imagine, expanses so empty that millions of light years may pass without a single galaxy. The web is both fullness and emptiness, both thread and silence, woven together into one. The story of the cosmic web begins in the earliest moments after the Big Bang. In those first fractions of a second, matter was almost evenly spread across the young universe, but not perfectly. Tiny ripples, quantum fluctuations magnified by cosmic inflation, created regions that were just slightly denser than others. Over billions of years, gravity pulled more and more matter into these dense regions, forming galaxies, clusters, and eventually the filaments of the web. What began as the faintest whisper of imbalance grew into the vast structure that holds the cosmos together. Scientists map this web by measuring the positions of galaxies across the sky, millions at a time. When plotted, They reveal intricate threads stretching across space, connecting clusters like beads on invisible strings. To look at these maps is to see something both alien and strangely familiar. The structure of the universe resembles neural networks in the brain, the branching of trees, the filigree of roots underground. Patterns repeat themselves across scales, as if the universe were echoing its own design in every form. There is something soothing in knowing that we are part of this web. Our galaxy, with its billions of stars, is just one pearl on a filament that stretches across unimaginable distances. Yet even from here, within our small corner, we are connected to the whole. Light from galaxies billions of years away still finds us, threading through space, weaving us into the story. We are not isolated specks. We are points on the fabric of infinity. Picture yourself now floating along one of these filaments. It stretches endlessly in both directions, glowing faintly, alive with galaxies. Each galaxy is a city of stars. Each star a possible cradle of worlds. Each world a potential home for stories untold. The filament itself curves gently into the darkness, looping and crossing with others, until the whole universe resembles a luminous web strung across eternity. You drift along it weightlessly, as though carried by threads of light. The cosmic web teaches us that connection is the essence of existence. Nothing in the universe stands alone. Every galaxy is linked. Every star is part of a larger whole. Even here, on Earth, we reflect that truth. Our lives are filaments of their own, stretched between relationships, woven into communities, bound by invisible threads of love, memory, and time. The universe, in its grand silence, is reminding us that isolation is only an illusion. We are all part of the same fabric. So as you breathe now, imagine those threads stretching softly around you. Imagine yourself held, supported, woven into something vast and eternal. The worries of the day are small knots, temporary tangles in the greater web. They loosen, they fade, as the larger pattern holds steady. You are safe within it. You always have been. Let that image linger as you drift further into the night. The cosmic web stretches endlessly, but for now, you need not follow it all the way. It is enough to know that it holds you, gently, quietly, as you move toward rest. The stars shimmer along its filaments, patient as ever, guiding you forward into the next wonder waiting in the silence. Have you ever noticed how silence itself can feel like a medicine? In our world, filled with constant voices, machines, and hurried thoughts, silence can seem rare, almost unfamiliar. Yet the brain craves it, the way the body craves rest, or the way the lungs crave air. Silence is not an absence. It is a presence, subtle and profound, carrying with it a power to soothe, to heal, to restore what the noise of life has worn thin. Imagine yourself now in a place of perfect stillness. Perhaps it is a vast desert at night, the stars overhead unbroken by clouds. Perhaps it is a deep forest after a snowfall, every branch softened beneath white, every sound muted. Or perhaps it is simply a quiet room where the only sound is the rhythm of your own breath. In this silence, you may first notice the faint echoes of your thoughts, like ripples on a pond. But as you linger, even those ripples begin to fade until what remains is calm, wide, and endless. Scientists who study the brain have found that silence can spark growth. In experiments with animals, periods of quiet were shown to encourage the birth of new brain cells in the hippocampus, a region tied to memory and emotion. Silence, it seems, is not empty. It is creative. It allows the mind to settle, to repair, to make new connections. Just as sleep strengthens and restores the body, silence strengthens and restores the mind. Think of your thoughts as waves upon an ocean. When the wind is strong, the waves are restless, crashing and tumbling. But when the air grows still, the ocean becomes smooth, reflecting the sky above it. In that reflection lies clarity. Silence offers you that stillness, that reflection, even if only for a moment. And in that reflection, the scattered pieces of your day can begin to align. Picture yourself seated beside a still lake at dusk. The air is cool, the water like glass, reflecting every detail of the fading sky. A bird passes overhead, its wings silent against the darkening air. The world is unhurried, and in its quiet, you begin to notice the rhythm of your own body, the rise and fall of your chest, the faint beat of your heart, the way your breath enters cool and leaves warm. This, too, is silence, not an absence of sound, but the quiet awareness of being alive. Even the universe knows silence. Between galaxies lie vast voids, expanses where not even starlight lingers. Yet in those voids, the fabric of space-time hums faintly with ancient echoes, relics of the Big Bang. Silence, even at its deepest, still holds memory, still carries the traces of creation. In this way, silence is never nothing. It is always a presence, always a space where something new can grow. And there is comfort in this, to know that you do not need to fill every moment with sound or thought. To know that rest can come in the quiet. That peace can be found not by adding more, but by letting go. In silence, you are reminded that you are enough as you are, without words, without effort, simply being. As you rest here, let the silence between these words become its own medicine. Notice the pauses. Notice the space. Let them cradle you, as surely as any story or sound. In those pauses lies healing. In those pauses lies peace. And so, as the night deepens, let silence wrap around you like a blanket. The noise of the day has fallen away. The noise of tomorrow has not yet come. Here, in this moment, there is only stillness, and within it, comfort. Drift with it, as though you were floating in a vast, quiet sea, weightless, supported, free. Ahead, the universe holds new wonders, but for now, silence has done its work. It has opened the path, softened the edges, and carried you one step closer to rest. Let it linger as we move onward, gently, into the mysteries of the night. Have you ever imagined what it would be like to watch two black holes meet in the silence of space, where light itself can be swallowed? There are places of such gravity, such mystery, that nothing can escape. Black holes are not empty, though they are dark. They are the densest cradles of matter, collapsed stars whose weight bends the very fabric of time and space. And when two of these titans drift close enough to one another, they begin a dance, slow, spiraling, inevitable, until at last they merge in a burst of energy that ripples across the universe. Picture yourself now, at a safe distance, floating in the quiet of intergalactic night. Before you, two black holes orbit one another. They are invisible, but their presence is clear. Stars bend around them. Light curves as though pulled by invisible strings. They circle slowly at first, massive bodies locked in a silent embrace. With each orbit, they draw closer, their pace quickening, the fabric of space-time trembling under their steps. This is gravity's ballet. It has no music, no sound, yet it is among the most powerful dances in the cosmos. As the black holes spiral together, they send out ripples, gravitational waves. stretching the fabric of the universe like waves across a pond. These ripples travel outward, carrying the memory of the dance across billions of light years. When they reach Earth, they are unimaginably faint, smaller than the width of an atom. Yet sensitive instruments have learned to detect them, and so we can listen to the rhythm of black holes merging, like distant drums echoing in space-time itself. What happens when they finally meet is both violent and graceful. In a fraction of a second, they collide, becoming one larger black hole. Their masses united, their energy released into waves that ripple outward forever. No light escapes, yet the event is recorded in the trembling of the cosmos. It is an ending and a beginning all at once, the quiet birth of a new darkness. There is something soothing in knowing that even the most immense forces in the universe move in patterns, in rhythms, in dances. Black holes, which seem like symbols of destruction, are also symbols of union. They remind us that even in endings, there is merging, transformation, and continuity. As you breathe now, imagine your own life as a kind of orbit, moments circling one another, experiences spiraling inward until they merge into memory. Some orbits are brief, some long, but all leave ripples, traces that move outward, touching others in ways you may never see. Like the waves of colliding black holes, your presence stretches further than you know. Let the image soften. The black holes merge, the ripples fade into the silence of space, and all that remains is stillness. Yet in that stillness, something new has been born. The universe continues, vast and calm, carrying the memory of that dance within it. Perhaps tonight, as you rest, you can imagine yourself as part of that rhythm, not hurried, not anxious, but moving in slow, graceful spirals toward the quiet merging of sleep. Just as the black holes surrender to their embrace, you can surrender to rest, letting the day collapse into silence, letting dreams rise to meet you. The dance is complete, and the night carries you onward. Ahead, another wonder waits, ready to hold you as gently as this one has. Have you ever wondered what it feels like to drift in the company of giants? Beneath the waves, in the hidden blue of Earth's oceans, there are beings whose lives unfold with a patience that humbles us. Whales, vast and ancient, glide through the deep with the grace of dancers and the wisdom of centuries. Their voices echo across waters so wide that one song can travel for hundreds of miles, weaving unseen threads of connection in the silence of the sea. Imagine yourself now floating on the surface of a calm ocean. The water rocks you gently, the horizon stretches in every direction, and the sky above is painted with the fading light of dusk. Suddenly, a sound rises from below, low, resonant, and steady, like the hum of the earth itself. It is the call of a whale, carrying through the water, reaching ears far beyond your sight. You feel it not only as sound, but as vibration, as if the ocean itself were speaking. These songs are not random. They have structure, repeating phrases, melodies that evolve over time. Entire populations of whales share the same song, altering it slowly, passing it from one generation to the next. To listen is to hear a culture unfolding beneath the waves, a living music older than memory. Scientists still puzzle over what these songs mean, whether they are maps, courtship, or pure expression. But whatever their purpose, they remind us that communication can be vast, patient, and beautiful beyond words. Whales live at a rhythm unlike ours. Some dive for an hour, sinking miles beneath the surface before returning for breath. Some migrate across entire oceans, traveling from polar waters to tropical seas with a certainty written in their very bones. They live long lives, some spanning more than 200 years, carrying within them the history of centuries. To drift alongside such beings is to feel time slow, to sense the deep patience of the sea. Picture yourself now diving gently beneath the surface. The water closes over you, cool and calm, the light dimming into blue twilight. As you descend, you hear it again, a whale's voice rising from the depths. Then, from the shadows, a shape emerges, a creature longer than a bus, larger than any animal on land, yet moving with a grace so quiet it seems weightless. Its great fluke sweeps slowly, its body curves with ease, and as it passes, you feel the echo of its presence, like standing in the path of a gentle tide. There is comfort in knowing that these giants share our world, unseen most of the time, carrying their songs through waters we may never touch. They are reminders of endurance, of community, of the slow wisdom that comes from patience. They remind us that the earth holds mysteries not only in the sky above, but in the depths below, in realms where silence is broken only by the voices of the deep. As you rest here, imagine the rhythm of their song aligning with your breath. Inhale slowly, as though drawing in the ocean's calm. Exhale softly, as though releasing your own quiet voice into the sea. With each breath, you are part of that rhythm, part of that endless song carried through water and time. When you return to the surface in your imagination, the stars are overhead, mirrored faintly in the rippling sea. You feel as though the whales below are singing not only to one another, but to the universe itself, voices that cross both ocean and sky. And in that thought, there is peace, the kind of peace that settles deep, the kind that lingers long after the sound fades. So let the whales recede now into the distance, their songs still echoing softly. The ocean is calm, the night is wide, and you are carried gently onward. Another wonder awaits in the silence ahead, ready to cradle you deeper into rest. Have you ever thought about how every ray of light carries a memory? When you step into sunlight, the warmth on your skin is not only the present moment, it is a story that began millions of years ago in the heart of the sun. Photons, those tiny messengers of energy, are born deep within the solar core. They fight their way outward through layers of plasma, bouncing, colliding, scattering. For thousands, even millions of years, they wander inside that furnace, until at last they reach the surface and leap into the void of space. From there, they travel freely, 8 minutes across the gulf between sun and earth, before arriving as the gentle glow of daylight. Imagine standing outside on a clear morning. The light that falls across your face has been on a journey longer than any human life. It carries within it the memory of the sun's ancient fire. And when it touches you, that memory becomes part of your story, warming you, nourishing you, even fueling the life within your cells. For plants, light becomes food. For us, it becomes vision. Light is not only energy, it is the silent thread weaving together all life, all time. Beyond the sun, the story stretches further. Look up at the night sky, and you are not only seeing stars, you are seeing history. The starlight reaching your eyes tonight may have left its source hundreds, thousands, even millions of years ago. Some of those stars may already be gone, burned out or collapsed, yet their light still travels, carrying their memory across the dark. To gaze at the night is to gaze into the past, to catch the final whispers of lives, long extinguished, still glowing in their silent journey. There is something deeply comforting in this thought, that nothing is ever entirely lost. That light carries with it traces of what once was, long after the moment has passed. The glow of a candle lingers after the flame is snuffed. The shimmer of starlight lingers after the star itself has died. Even we, in our lives, leave behind echoes, words spoken, kindness given, love shared, that ripple outward, touching others in ways we may never know. We too are messengers of light, leaving memories that travel farther than we can imagine. Picture yourself now in a quiet meadow at night. The air is cool, the ground soft beneath you, and above, the sky is alight with stars. Each one is a lantern from the past, its glow a story reaching across eternity. As you watch, imagine the photons streaming down, touching your skin, your eyes, your breath. They have traveled so far, carrying their memory, only to arrive here, now, in this gentle moment of stillness. And as you rest in that light, imagine your own presence as part of this great exchange. Your laughter, your touch, your voice, they too ripple outward, like light, leaving memories in others, traveling farther than you realize. You may not see where they go, but like starlight, they endure, soft and persistent, even across the vast silence of time. Let this thought ease you into calm. You are surrounded by memory, by light that has traveled eons to find you. You are a participant in its journey, both receiver and giver, both illuminated and illuminating. Tonight, as you breathe, slowly, softly, let yourself feel like a point of light in the greater cosmos, steady, gentle, carrying the memory of all that has been, and quietly offering your own glow to the future. So let the meadow fade into darkness. Let the stars shimmer softly, patient and kind. Ahead, another wonder waits, ready to hold you with the same quiet rhythm. And like light itself, we will carry its memory with us, long after this night is past. Have you ever caught a snowflake on your hand and wondered at its perfection? For a moment it rests, glistening, fragile, a tiny star-shaped crystal, melting almost as soon as it arrives. Each flake is a brief masterpiece, a pattern spun from air and water, unique in its geometry, fleeting in its life. To think that the sky can create such delicate art, endlessly varied, is to glimpse the quiet genius of nature's design. Imagine yourself now standing in a gentle snowfall. The air is hushed, every sound softened by the drift of white. Flakes descend slowly, swirling in the breeze, each one turning as it falls, like dancers in the air. As they land upon your sleeve, you notice the intricate shapes, branching arms, hexagonal patterns, lattices of ice so delicate they seem almost impossible. And yet, each one is real, formed in the cold silence of the clouds above. The geometry of snowflakes begins with the simplest of molecules, water. Each water molecule is shaped like a tiny triangle, two hydrogens clinging to an oxygen. When water vapor in the air freezes, these molecules lock together in hexagons, the most stable arrangement. From this simple rule, complexity blossoms. The flake grows outward, branching in perfect symmetry, each arm mirroring the others. Yet because no two flakes travel the same path through the air, each grows differently, sculpted by tiny changes in temperature, humidity, and motion. The result is endless variety, billions upon billions of unique designs falling silently across the world. To scientists, This is a marvel of physics, order arising from chaos, beauty born from simplicity. To poets, it is a symbol of fragility and uniqueness, a reminder that no two moments, no two beings are ever quite the same. And to us, in this quiet night, it is a lullaby written in frozen light, drifting down to soothe the earth. Picture yourself holding one of these flakes, examining its crystal arms as though gazing at a miniature star. Its perfection lasts only seconds before it melts, becoming a drop of water that soaks into the earth, joins a river, or perhaps freezes again. In this way, the snowflake story continues, just as ours does, changing form, but never ending, always becoming part of something larger. There is comfort in this fleeting beauty. The world creates wonders that do not need to last forever to have meaning. A snowflake may live for only a breath, but in that breath, it carries the perfection of geometry, the elegance of physics, the quiet artistry of nature itself. So too, our moments of joy, our moments of connection, brief though they may be, are no less precious. As you breathe now, imagine the snow falling softly around you. Each inhale gathers the stillness of winter. Each exhale releases warmth into the cold night. You are surrounded by countless flakes, each a unique design, yet all falling together, covering the earth in a shared blanket of white. Individual, but united. Brief, but eternal in their repetition. Fragile, yet strong enough to transform a landscape. Let this snowfall cradle you into calm. You are part of the same geometry, shaped by conditions unique to you, unlike anyone else, yet also part of a larger pattern that holds all life. The snowflakes fall, the silence deepens, and you are carried onward into rest, gentle as winter's breath. And now, our journey draws to a close. We have wandered through the birth of stars and the hidden depths of oceans beneath ice. We have drifted along the filaments of the cosmic web and listened to the whispers of forests, to the patient songs of whales in the deep, to the quiet power of silence itself. We have touched the memory of light, traced the fragile geometry of snowflakes, and peered into the endless veil of infinity. Each step has been gentle, unhurried, a reminder that wonder need not wake us. It can lull us. It can soothe us. It can carry us softly into rest. Perhaps by now, you are already drifting into sleep. If so, let these words fade into dreams, dissolving like starlight into morning mist. Let them become fragments of imagery, shapes and feelings that accompany you deeper into rest. And if you are still awake, that is perfectly fine too. This quiet space belongs to you, however you arrive in it. Whether your mind is wandering, whether you are listening closely, or whether you are simply floating on the sound, all of it is welcome. There's nothing to achieve here, nothing to hold on to. Only calm, only breath. Take a moment now to notice your body, supported wherever you rest. Notice the softness of your shoulders, the way your hands have grown still, the rhythm of your breathing. Each breath is a wave returning to shore, steady, timeless, effortless. Each exhale is a release, a letting go of the day, a surrender to the night. You are safe here. You are held here. As we close, imagine once more the night sky above you. The stars shimmer quietly, patient as ever. They have watched over countless nights before this one, and they will continue to shine long after this moment passes. Their presence is steady, their light eternal. And beneath that sky, you too are steady. You too are part of the great rhythm of the universe. If you are awake, let that thought comfort you as you continue to rest. And if you are asleep, may your dreams be gentle, filled with wonder, filled with peace. Thank you for joining this journey tonight, here with the Science Pulse. May you feel calm, connected, and deeply at ease. Good night.